Good afternoon and welcome to BizTech's Asian Midday Market Watch. It's the 22nd of September, and as always, we have Kelvin Wong, Senior Market Analyst at Oanda, as our guest today. Kelvin, welcome to the show.
Hey, hi, Brian. Good to see you again, and happy Friday.
Now, happy Friday. Now, today we have the spotlight on Japan. We've just had some Japanese latest inflation, manufacturing, and services PMI data. What is your view on the data that's just come out?
Yeah, sure. So maybe let us focus on the inflationary side of the story first in Japan. So if you look at we call it the headline inflation. Yes, it came in slightly lower versus the previous month of July at 3.2% year on year for August, slip below 3.3% year on year in July. So that's actually close to a 2 months low. But however, if you look at services inflation, that means we strip out the inflation, excluding food and energy, they actually still remains pretty much elevated at a rate of 4.3%. So that's actually still hovering at a 42-year high in Japan. So then on top of that, if you look at the services PMI, it's still pretty much robust. So the services PMI is the flash services PMI for September in Japan. So it came in still at an expansionary mode at 53.3. Yes, a slight dip below 54.3, but it has been hovering between 53 and 54 in the last 4 months. So indicating to us that the services sector in Japan is still pretty much robust, despite the fact that manufacturing data, yes, the latest one, the flash manufacturing data for the month of September, it came in a contractionary mode at 48.6%. That's also below last month's number as 49.6% and below consensus of 49.9%. So net, if you look at this current set of, we call it a key economic data out from Japan, what we could see over here is we start to see pretty much elevated services side of the story of the inflation rate that is still pretty much robust. And also, yes, despite the fact that manufacturing starts to actually still in a contractionary mode, came in below expectation. There's a slight disappointment. But however, the services sector in Japan still hold out relatively well. So overall, what we could see over here is that the risk of the Japanese economy slipping back into deflationary mode, at least in the next 6 months or so, is pretty slim right now.
Okay, but one of the key things we're all looking out for, obviously, is how would the BOJ react?
Yes.
Um, what are your thoughts on that, and how is
Okay.
this going to impact the US dollar Japanese yen swap?
Yes, precisely. So, for sure, BOJ interest rate decision, we call it the announcement, is really out at 11 a.m. Singapore time, just about 2 hours ago. So that came in within widely expected. No change in their interest rate decision, still negative at negative 0.1%. And just a reminder, Bank of Japan is the only G20 central bank that is still having negative interest rate. So the rest we're talking about the Swiss, the ECB, all has really inched up towards a positive rate. So Japan itself is still pretty much lagging behind due to the fear of deflation coming back into Japan again. So now the key story over here is that all market participants will be watching very closely later at around 2:30 to 3 p.m. Singapore time. So this is where BOJ governor will start to hold his press conference. So market will be trying to have a reaffirmation of, or kind of a confirmation of one of his more confident remark that was made last at the start of this month. Pardon me. So during this start of this month, he did make saying that BOJ is actually attempting to do this by he used the word in translation from Japan to English is called quietly exiting the current ultra monetary policy dovish stance. So that actually
Okay.
kind of implied that uh, BOJ itself right now is pretty much confident that Japan economy has reached a state that inflation being elevated will start to stay around 2% and above for BOJ target for at least end of this year and perhaps towards the middle of next year. And if he sounded pretty much confident in this aspect of things, we potentially could see the dollar yen over here to actually at least stage a short-term bearish reversal because from a technical perspective, it starts to show a bit of exhaustion sign bullish exogenous sign right at this 148.85 key medium-term pivotal resistance level. So I'll be watching a key short-term support level as we head into this BOJ governor press conference later at this 14750, which is actually today's low as well, today's current intraday low, and also the 20-day moving average. Clear break below this level potentially could be reinforce this short-term potential dollar yen weakness.
On that note, Kelvin, thank you very much for your insights. Thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure, Brian.
Now, we've been speaking to Kelvin Wong, Senior Market Analyst at Oanda on BizTech's Asian Midday Market Watch. I'm Brian Fernandez. Check out this interview on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.